Welcome back to ETL Productions. Today, I'm bringing an interesting story to you guys in continuing the Camaro saga. The Camaro is dead, so the article over in the drive.com said. However, that's not entirely the whole story. So let's get into that a bit. Roll the intro, and we'll talk about it. Welcome back, guys. So, as I stated in the intro segment, the Camaro was reported to be dead by the drive.com. They got their source from GM Authority, which is a very reputable source in the automotive sector. Now, let's get into it and talk a little bit about the story that's going on here. It was reported that there's a group within General Motors that is been tasked with the job of showing General Motors that the Camaro could be profitable and that bringing it back is a good option. However, apparently, the bean counters have decided that the latest proposal they have made isn't good enough. And they're not willing to bring it back just to keep enthusiasts happy. Of course, the bean counters, they're looking at things from a purely business perspective, and they don't care about that sort of stuff. They care about the shareholders. They care about the shareholders and what they think. Which, although I realize is important, it happens in far too many companies that they look at just the numbers. They don't look at other things. And sometimes something a bit further down the road that you can't necessarily show the numbers for yet comes into play, and they're not looking at that. They're not interested in that. Basically, it sounds like not everybody is on board with the idea of the Camaro. And this is not the first time for the Camaro. The Camaro has been discontinued before and resurrected. Sometimes the GM just can't make up their mind what they want to do. So they probably shouldn't have discontinued it in the first place. Maybe they should have done something with it. Maybe they should have done a meaningful redesign. I mean, they had the car from 2010 until 2024. And although they claimed that second half of that time period was another generation, it really wasn't. It was just a mild refresh. They came out of the gates, guns a-blazing, and sales numbers were great. And then they just let it go down. It didn't change anything. So GM is remaining tight-lipped about the Camaro and whether or not they're going to bring it back. They're not necessarily saying that they're not, but they're leaning towards not right now. There's been lots of rumors circulating about it. Are they going to bring it back as an EV, a hybrid? Is it going to grow a pair of doors and become a sedan? Is it going to be EV and a sedan? All those things have been thrown around. Meanwhile, over at Ford, they have the 8th generation Mustang on the lots now. It has a 5.0 liter V8 engine, and it has debuted a limited edition Ford Mustang GTD. Has set a record on the Nuremberg track this past December for the fastest American car of all time. Okay. Let's look at the competition right now. Now, we know what GM is saying right now, and that prospects of bringing it back are looking kind of bleak, but anybody that knows the automotive sector knows that that can change real fast. So let's look at the realities here. The Ford Mustang V8 I just mentioned. Okay. Up until recently, it really had no American competition, but Stellantis, one of the few things that they've done here, is bring back the Challenger and Charger as one complete model, calling it the Charger. Originally, it's supposed to be an EV only. Now it's going to be inline six. And there's even rumors floating around that it could have a Hemi V8 in it. Maybe. We'll see. We have the Japanese manufacturers, Honda, Toyota, Mazda, all have sedans, all big players in the market. I mean, you've got other smaller players like Kia and Hyundai and whatnot as well, but they're kind of small potatoes compared to the other three. But as I've mentioned, if you look around, I don't know if it's the same where you are, but I know where I am. I see a lot of these vehicles, like the Corolla and the Civic, for instance, particularly, being driven by young people. Okay. What has GM got to offer young people? Crossover? I don't think that is something that's getting most young people that excited. I mean, there is a segment that will buy it, but either way, I think GM is missing out right now. I mean, they don't have the Malibu anymore. They don't have the Camaro. The only cars they got left are the Corvette and a couple Cadillacs. Not exactly something a young person be buying. And far too many manufacturers forget about the young people. I mean, you want to get them in the door, you want to get them in your product, and maybe they will stay if they have a good experience. So, what could GM do? What do I think the GM should do? I think GM should do a combination of things, looking at the competitors. Obviously, they got to look at cost effectiveness of the vehicle, simplify it. Any way manufacturing process you can think of to simplify the vehicle, less parts, less time to assemble, etc. Offer it as a sedan and a coupe. That way you have both vehicles. You have a sporty coupe at an affordable price, and you have a sedan at an affordable price, giving more practicality. Okay. Downsize it. Downsize the Camaro. The Camaro was a fairly large car. It could have been downsized without really sacrificing a lot of interior space. So I think that's something that would be possible. Right. And as I've mentioned before, get rid of some of your crossovers. Look at my earlier video where I mentioned this, how GM could cut costs and get rid of some crossovers. Actually, they're already kind of doing one. They got rid of the Blazer, but only the gas version. They still have the electric version. I think they could toss that whole vehicle out myself and fill it with the Equinox. But anyhow, I think GM needs an affordable car option. They threw the Malibu out already. I'm going to explore that one in another video that will be coming up very soon for you guys to watch. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you be excited to see a Camaro come back? Or should they just leave it dead and move on? Always love to hear what you guys have to say. Anyhow, that's my view from behind the wheel. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And as always, have yourselves a great day.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.